It is October and you got Halloween here, so you guys are probably going to jump in a theater to go see some scary movie. There is one that Cassie's going to tell you about that is so scary people are puking in the theater.
Oh, they are literally giving out branded BARF bags for this movie. It's called Terrifier 3, and it's about Kristen's favorite kind of character, a clown. I know you love them. And the problem is this movie is so extreme with its sadism, violence, and gore that the director had trouble finding people in Hollywood to finance it because it's so bad. But literally they are giving out vomit bags with the clown on the front. It's the third one in the series. And if you remember, I think it was last week, our social media producer, Rebecca, was talking about another movie she saw with Demi Moore called Substance, and how she thought that she was like matched with a guy in that movie who could match her freak, but then he ran out of the movie vomiting. This is worse than that movie. But Rebecca actually saw the movie yesterday.
What is the matter with you? What is the matter with you? This is because you're sober.
Probably, honestly, probably.
You're looking for a dopamine hit.
How many other freaks were matching your freak in the movie theater?
This movie was #1 in the box office last weekend.
Really?
Yeah,
Wow.
no joke.
I was going to say, what beat Joker? But everything beat Joker.
For sure. I wanted to come in here and be like, oh, that wasn't that bad. That wasn't too gross. But that was really, really gross. So the Terrifier franchise, its selling point is that it's disgusting. Like, it's this gory, awful, sadistic movie about Art the Clown, this demon clown that literally the whole point of the movie is that it just terrorizes like the characters in the movie. And I've seen every single movie in this franchise. I hate it. I think it's a horrible franchise, but sometimes as a horror fan, you just got to clock in and you got to go see what everybody's talking about because you don't want to be left behind. Personally, I don't think it's that gross because it's really campy. Like, it's like the guy who made the movies, he started as an SFX artist. So the whole thing is just, how many limbs can I chop off? How much blood can I show on the screen? And it's really fun, practical effects, but it's not realistic. You're watching it and you're like, huh. But you're not like running for the barf bag, in my opinion.
But there's people who have passed out watching this.
I think that's a little bit of a gimmick because honestly, in horror history,
You think they're staging that for promotional
100%. They give out barf bags at lots of movies, lots of horror movies.
Really?
It's been a thing for a while. They say, oh, at The Exorcist, everyone was passing out. That started in like the 70s.
Yeah.
So like it's to get people in seats, and people were already going to get into the seats because they love this franchise.
These are like college students taking poppers in the middle of the movie.
Sickos.
Is it the same premise as most? Like one person going on a rampage and killing a whole bunch of people?
It's about Art the Clown, who is a demon clown who was basically imagined by this like woman, and he is terrorizing this woman and her family. So this one is actually Christmas themed, which was very interesting. Yes, Art the Clown dons Santa's skin, in fact, and he ventures out and he gives little presents to children. So if you don't want to see that, I would not recommend this movie. But yeah, it's basically just as much gore as possible within a 2-hour slasher movie.
Let me ask you a question, ladies. If you're out on a first date and a guy says to you, yeah, I wrote that the Terrifier 3, or the whole series is mine. Do you continue to date a dude like me?
No.
Right.
That is deal breaker. That is such a red flag. Like, and it's weird because it's like, it's a little bit of a contradiction. Like, I'm so impressed that you have such a creative brain that you can come up with that. Yet at the same time, I'm so disturbed that you have such a creative brain that you can come up with that. That's a deal breaker.
I've always wondered this because Stephen King's been married for like 40 years. And he is, I would think, the king of horror. Mm-hmm. But I had this little run-in when I met my husband because he is a writer and he writes horror novels. And he would detail some of them. Not gore, though. I think that's the difference. His were like thriller, suspense horror. But part of you is like, and this is part of the reason also I've always wanted to write a book, but I've never written one, is because I'm afraid people will be like, will judge me and be like, what a weirdo.
Yeah.
I mean, my husband's not a weirdo. He's a fantastic writer, but a little bit of you is like, is this really them inside? Or are they just imagining these things? Like, so is the writer of Terrifier 3, is that really what they like and them, or are they just like, this is going to be a cool creative exercise and make me a ton of money?
I experienced the same thing after I wrote my book on podcasting.
Yes.
Ew. Is that in you?
Yeah.
Forget I'm not doing that.
Ew, such an expert on content. Disgusting.
The Bert Show.